Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, January 12th. I'm Denise Douglas. So glad you could join us this evening. Fire breaks out at a church in Seat Pleasant this afternoon. Firefighters were called to New Mount Olivet Apostolic Church around 12:30. Traffic was disrupted along Addison Road while crews worked to put out the flames. Officials say the fire started in the basement and spread to the first floor.
The fire crews are inside doing what we call overhaul, so they're opening up walls in the areas that were burned. They're checking hidden void spaces to make sure there's no fire behind the walls or in spaces that we would miss.
Investigators are still working to determine the cause. A tragic house fire in Baltimore claims at least 6 lives. It happened early this morning in the 4200 block of Springwood Avenue. The victims were the children of Katie Malone, a special assistant in the office of Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings. Malone survived the fire. 3 others were seriously injured. 3 children ages 8 years and under escaped from the fire.
One of my employees, Katie Malone, who has been with my office for 11 years, experienced a fire, and sadly 6 of her 9 children perished. It's a very difficult time for our office, and Katie is going to be okay. I talked to her husband at length today. Three of the 9 children survived. We think her husband says she thinks that they will be okay also.
3 children ages 8 years and under escaped from that fire. In Annapolis, lawmakers got back to work for a second day, but there is no doubt that the news of Michael Vaughn's abrupt resignation has cast a gloomy shadow on the start of the Maryland legislative session. The 59-year-old sent his resignation letter to the House Speaker, but reportedly there was no indication of any ties to the ongoing corruption probe in Prince George's. Instead, he cited health as the reason for leaving. However, rumors have been swirling that he is somehow involved in the FBI investigation. Here's what Senate President Mike Miller had to say about the situation.
It came as a complete shock to us that one member who had already been out of politics was, pled guilty. We didn't know why he left politics, but apparently that was the reason. And now we have another member of the House resign yesterday. So we'll see where this goes. We hope for the best. I think it's limited to Prince George's County. But if it is, we hope it's minimized in terms of the extent of it. There's no person who's more charged than to do what's ethically right than people who are in charge of making the laws. And so it's, I'm certain that who's behind this. I think the special prosecutor is. We created the special prosecutor after a round of scandals in the 1970s, and to do such as this, to root out any type of corruption possible.
Vaughn had served in the House of Delegates since 2003. Before being elected, he worked in banking and finance, according to his online bio. He came under scrutiny for falsely claiming on his campaign website that he played football for the Dallas Cowboys, according to a report, which also said he retracted that statement in 2010 after questions from a reporter. County Council Chair Derek Davis is weighing in on the recent guilty plea by former lawmaker Will Campos. Earlier this month, Campos pled guilty to federal bribery charges. Campos admits that he conspired to solicit and accept bribes in exchange for favorable actions, as well as using government grant money in an illegal manner. In his statement, Davis calls Campos' behavior, quote, disgusting and completely unacceptable, unquote. Davis says that the county council will also review all grant programs to strengthen transparency and protect their integrity. Reaction to the alleged corruption scandal in the county continues to pour in. Damon Effingham, the policy director with the government watchdog group Common Cause, says he is disappointed. So far, 4 people, including 2 liquor board officials, have been arrested and charged in the case. Maryland's U.S. attorney has not said how the charges against former delegate and county councilman Will Campos are connected to the broader investigation. Adding, though, fuel to this intrigue is Michael Vaughn's resignation from the House of Delegates. Effingham emphasizes his group's call for stricter government oversight.
One, for Will Campos especially, that kind of started this whole ball rolling, is that basically a district was created for him, which again points to the need for fair redistricting reform here in Maryland, so that candidates can't sit in kind of this tower that's protected for them and do whatever they please. The other thing that we think would really help is if the state board were given more resources in order to conduct these audits that can help see when there are weird campaign finance things happening as well.
No word yet on if or when Vaughn will be formally charged.